And I never ever think that I have any unforgiveness, any hate, any of those things in my heart. God is a funny God. So my grandmother died 5 years ago, 4 months after I bought my house, just unexpectedly. And as many of you probably are aware, death brings a lot of things, grief, but also confusion. So we had some of that in our family because of my grandmother's oldest sister. And so all of these years, I did not know that I still felt very strongly about the way things were handled or mishandled. And so this morning, the conversation with my cousin led me down memory lane and also just disclosed a lot of things to me about our family I did not know. My grandmother was one of 4 sisters, all of which are separated and their families in different parts of the world. And so when my cousin was talking to me this morning about his mother, who was the youngest of the 4 sisters, who died a few years ago, this month. So I had a cousin who was murdered on Good Friday, and her mother subsequently died 2 days before Good Friday the following year. And so my family has never truly recovered from that. So every year in April, we have this mourning, if you will. And so today, when my cousin was talking, he told me that his wife died on April 17th. So that's a third thing added to the month of April, right? And so when he was talking to me this morning, he shared some things that I did not know about my grandmother, about his mother, and about all of the sibling rivalry. What God put on my spirit was generational curses and also generational blessings, things that I was taught from my grandmother. And when he shared the pain that he felt towards my grandmother's oldest sister, it brought back so many memories of the funeral. And with those memories were what I would call unresolved feelings that I had towards her. And I started crying. And I know my husband saw me and could not understand what was happening to me. But I also was just processing inside of me how I felt. And I said to my cousin, I've never hated anybody in my life, but I felt like I hated her. And that conversation today opened up so many wounds, opened up so many feelings I didn't know was there. And this is the power of praying to God and getting an answered prayer. Sometimes it doesn't come in a way in which we desire, we think it's gonna come. But for the last few months, having that prayer to God to unearth anything that is within me that I can't see so that I can be a better disciple, I can be a better wife, I can be a better friend, I can be a better sister. This is what came to me this morning. And so as I was crying and my cousin's on the other line sharing, I started to pray to God for forgiveness because he said, I realized all the things that caused me pain, I needed to let it go. I needed to let it go. I have to forgive my mother. I have to forgive all of the sisters because what I realized is that most of what they knew came from their upbringing. Most of what they knew was learned behavior. It was taught. It was what was shown to them. And I'm telling you, it opened up the floodgates in my heart that I did not know needed to be opened up. But I thank God. I thank God for God this morning because in that very moment, he told me, that's what you're going to talk about today. You have to share your testimony because he says, through our testimonies, we are overcoming. Somebody needs to hear this word. And so even on the drive here, my husband put something in the car, and it was comical, but all of it still led back to this. The gentleman that was being interviewed started talking about his relationship with God and his parents and his upbringing. And all of it was just constantly God saying to me, you gotta forgive. You're gonna have to forgive. If you wanna be forgiven, if you wanna be all these things that you've asked me for, this is the unearthing of the thing you didn't even know was in me because the pain I felt this morning, I didn't even know was inside of me. And so today I just wanna thank God for Resurrection Friday, for Palm Sunday, for Good Friday, because he is risen. He is not in the grave. He died so that we can live. And that was a reminder this morning but not just live. Live a life of abundance. Live a life of peace. Live a life of freedom. Live a life of commitment. Live a life of obedience. And that's the word for today. So seeing the lesson in obedience was just God's further confirmation for me that this is exactly what you're going to speak about, not what you think you're going to talk about. I thank God for his mercy, for his grace, for his forgiveness, for his presence, for his discernment, for all of those things. So I encourage you all today to just be thankful that he has risen, because also what I know is we no longer have to mourn on the day of resurrection for my cousin who died 20-something years ago. She's not even in the grave anymore. She's not even in the grave anymore. So I just come here to tell you that I'm grateful to be here before you. Even the drive here, there was no traffic. Even the drive from New Jersey. You know, I also asked God to help me to let go of stuff, control. I need this to be like this. So I asked my husband to drive this morning. Yes. Driving usually gives me a sense of peace, but this morning God put it on my spirit and said, no, you're not going to drive today. I need all of you. I don't want you focusing on traffic. I need you present. And so even driving today, I realized was not of my own doing. That was God instructing me and me being obedient. And so on the drive, I was praying to God and just thanking him and just submitting to him, submitting my will, not my will, but your will, Father. Truly submitting, meaning don't drive, let it go, and asking him to unearth anything that is within us that we can't see, that we don't even know is in us. That is what I am asking you all to do today. So I am happy to be in the house on Palm Sunday. I am grateful that God died for us. I am grateful that he died on that cross for me, and he died for you. So I want you guys to remember that, because he also has commissioned us to be disciples of the people. And in order for us to really be evangelists and disciples, we have to be right within us. That's all. All right. I'll turn it over to our pastor.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Father God.